Hey guys, welcome back to Minecraft. Alrighty, today we've got some big things to do today. We are opening up the west wing of our castle. Now, this west wing is probably going to be the area we spend most of our time in. This is going to consist of a massive project in here that's probably going to take up the rest of the series, really. So the project that we're working on in here is going to be a massive factory that's going to produce pretty much all the items we need using the Create mod. Now with this factory, I'm actually going to be taking a lot of inspiration from Tango Tech's Season 2 playthrough of the Create mod, and we're basically going to make a circular kind of, I guess, U-shaped factory here. It's going to have like these modules that create everything that we need. So I'll have like a module for making gravel, a module for making sand, a module for making, I don't know, clay balls, so on and so forth. And it's basically going to make everything we need here with basically what we can produce around the castle. Now we're obviously going to start out with the basics, like what we can do with cobblestone, but we'll eventually start expanding onto other things, more complex creations, and we'll have to input items from different farms into the factory. And when that time comes, we'll build the extra farms. I have plans on where to build those extra farms nearby and to be able to inject them into the factory. Now this factory is going to be massive, consisting of multiple floors, and I kind of built it right here for a reason, so that way I have room to go both up and down with the factory. And not only that, but the factory will also allow us to get items on demand. So anytime that we need items, whether we're crafting something or just want to have it in our storage area, like our storage area is right there, and the factory is going to be right here. I'm basically going to have this room full of buttons, and you should be able to click on a button of the item that you want, and it's just going to release it from the factory storage and send it all the way to my storage system over here. The factory is also going to have a lot of these gigantic item vaults here that can store thousands of items. And I'll be able to see how many items are in it and how full it is. And whenever the items are starting to run low inside the item vault, the individual module that controls it will be able to kick on and produce more items. So yeah, this factory is going to be very in-depth with lots of different wireless redstone components and all kinds of modules working in sync with each other to make everything that needs to be made. Alrighty, we got a lot to do, and before we can do it, we need to get these pillars in. I'm going to basically mirror what we've done over there and over there. So we've got the east wing and the south wing over there, and the west wing is going to look exactly the same with the 4 giant pillars. And yeah, I think I need to get the ceiling done today as well. Okay, so we got a lot to do. Let's jump on in. And just a few hours later, we are done with this room. It's looking good. I really like it. I really like it. Now, pretty much, I mean, I'm going to leave the walls probably pretty bare. There's going to be a lot of stuff built in front of the walls, so I'm not too worried about that looking a little bare. And, well, it's just the center here. The center looks, it needs something. It needs a little something something up there. I mean, the floor is going to be dealt with at a later time when we start to expand. But up here, I think I got a bit of an idea for a centerpiece. Now, what I think I'm going to do, first got to find out the exact center here. Probably right about there, right here. Yeah, let's go up. I'm going to make a bit of a chandelier up here. And it's not going to be just any chandelier. It's going to be... well, you'll see. You'll see what we're doing. Just a second. Let me get a rough shape first. There we go. There's a rough outline. Well, you can't really see it. Hold on. Let me see if I could put a torch up there. There we go. Put a torch right there too. Okay, there's my dirty chandelier. Not quite done yet. Now I've got to do a little bit of piping. Is that a floating torch? That's weird how it puts the torch like that. When you use the Effortless Build mod, sometimes it gets a little glitchy with torches. Huh. Anyway, we're going to start piping some lava over here to finish this thing off. So basically, if you haven't guessed it yet, this thing's going to be completely full of lava. And that's kind of what I'm going to use for a chandelier. I mean, I think it might look good as a centerpiece. I guess we'll find out. Well, there it is. I don't know about you, but it looks a bit small. I don't know. I think we can go bigger than this. Yeah, let's try going bigger. And bam. A little bit bigger. Yeah, I got like these little dangly bits here too, so that looks okay. Yeah, I was going to do like these little diagonal pieces, but it got a little complicated on filling with lava. So went with like a little simple thing, but I think it's fine. I think it's good for a centerpiece. All right, let's move on. Now, if we look up here, I've got this area right above that's open up. And what we're going to do up here is start on a pretty big cobble generator. And that now this cobble generator, it's going to produce a massive amount of cobble. So I want to go ahead and show you a design that I've been working on. All right, here we are in my creative world. And this is where I kind of do some testing and figure things out, make some nice little designs and whatnot. Here is the cobble generator that we're going to be using. Now this cobble generator, it produces a massive amount of cobble. And if we look over here, it only needs one source of lava to get going, and it never uses that source of lava at all. So that'll always be there. And but it's pumping it into each one of these pumps here. Now, I've seen a couple versions of this farm here, and some of them use a shifting floor to break the cobble, but the design we're going to use is a minecart contraption. All right, let's go ahead and turn it on and give it a try. So I've got this simple little clock here, and that's going to start and stop the contraption. So basically what's going to happen is this cart is going to become live, and then it's going to place, and then become live, and then place. And by doing that, that's going to pick up the floor. Then it's going to, at the same time, these little pumps here are going to try to shove lava up in here. And since the lava is hitting water, it turns into cobblestone. And in that short little time, this cart's going to lift up and then drop down. And then that's when it's going to instantly break all the blocks. All right, let's go ahead and turn it on. So you can see every time that the cart lifts up, it becomes an entity, I believe it's called, and basically it doesn't exist. The andesite blocks do not exist in that short instance, and that gives it the pumps enough time to squirt lava up, hit the water, and turn into cobblestone right away. Now this thing moves fast. You can see, oh, hold on, let me turn this part off. Okay, we got this little display board here, and you can see that's the block count, how many blocks are actually going into the system, and it's jumping up pretty fast. I mean, this is insane how fast this thing works. We can fill up this item vault in probably like, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes. And this isn't even the maximum size we can make this. We can make this a lot bigger if we want. This is probably infinitely expandable. Now, one of the problems I've been having with this design here is the amount of lag. And previous worlds that I've done, this is kind of a laggy design. So there is other ways to make it less laggy. Like I'll probably end up putting the item vault right down here, so that way as the items flow in, they'll just instantly get sucked up into the item vault. That might be the best thing to do, so that way we're not, you know, overloading the world with so many items floating around. Yeah, we're already at 6,500 something cobblestone. That's quite a bit. So this thing's super powerful. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and build this thing in our world and probably go a little bit bigger with it. All right, we are already up here. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna, instead of using belts, we're just going to have all the items just fall straight into these chutes and go straight into the item vault. So hopefully that will help out a little bit with lag. I've got all my toolboxes set up here, so I can pick my blocks if I want to straight from the toolbox. I can pick this straight from the toolbox, or I can put everything away if I so choose. So that's pretty nice. Let's see. Let's start out here. We're going to need to get our pipes in place. So one thing to note is, since water only flows 8 blocks, we can only come out 8 blocks this way. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is our limitation. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm also going to double up this farm, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. So basically, the farm that we built in the creative world is going to be doubled up, so it'll be twice as powerful. Okie dokie. Okay, now what we need is the pumps. So let's see, pumps. And these all need to be pointing upwards. There we go, so that works. I guess if I do it this way, yeah. Wonder, can I use Effortless Build? Nope. Ah, it doesn't like it. Darn it. All right, all the pumps are in. That's a lot of pumps. Now we need to add in our flooring and our sidewalls. Okay, we got the walls and the floors all in. Basically, anywhere where you have a pump, you need to cover it with a floor. And then put walls on the outside to keep stuff from overflowing everywhere. Now, I'm going to connect these two lines up. Basically, I want these to run in sync, so I'm going to connect it up like that. All of the andesite is going to be glued together, and the deep slate stuff will stay there. So I'm going to bring it over here. I want to make sure I have plenty of room to build this thing. There we go. Okay, I've got all this over here. This is where I can put the minecart contraption, and of course I forgot my rails. So we'll just hold off on that for now. But the main part of this is pretty much built. We just need to get water up here. That's about it. And you know what? I think I might actually build these walls up one more, just because there's a chance for cobblestone flying over the edge. So yeah, let's go ahead and build these walls up one more tile. Okay, now we got the minecart rail in place. This is actually a good time to glue everything together, just so we don't have to deal with the water being in the way. So we're just going to glue the andesite parts together. There we go. There to there. All of that. And all of this. Okay. All of this should be, there we go. Okay, everything is connected. Okay, now we can actually go up here and start placing in the water. I just realized that those two andesite blocks are going to be in the way, so I need to actually move that one lower. Yeah, that would be better, so the water flows all the way through. Okay, let me make that quick change here. Okay, I think that looks a little better. So let's just glue this up here. To there. There we go. Okay, all connected up. Okay, next up, we need to pipe all this together. So we're going to tap off of the lava right here. We don't need... Let's see, we don't need any of this anymore. So we could tap into that and send it this way. Yeah, I'm going to send it right there and then put the pump right there. So that should be more than close. Actually, I'll probably just take it over here. There we go. That should be more than enough to send lava all the way over there. Yeah, that should be more than enough. And I gotta flip that. Okay, one thing to note, I mean, I know this thing's not the prettiest, but I don't mind. It's hidden away, so it's fine. We just chained up all these gears. One thing to note is that during my testing, I noticed that 64 was a good RPM to not actually drain your lava source. So we are going to gear this down to 64 just for the pumps. The rest of this stuff can run off of full power. But the pumps should be the only thing that really needs rotational force. This is all going to run off of a redstone clock, so that should be separate. Okay, kind of want to test this thing out. Let's see if it works. What is wrong? Ah, that's what's wrong. I forgot to run power up here. There we go. Oh, and the other side too. Okay, now it should run a little bit better with all the pumps going. So let's activate this. There we go. Cobblestone is created. Okay, that worked out pretty good. Okay, well, now since we know it's working, let's go ahead and wire up the redstone clock. Okay, I think we got a working clock. Forgive me, I am not good at redstone, so I don't even know if this is a decent clock or not, but yeah, it works. So I flipped that switch and there we go. We are making cobblestone like crazy. Okay, now I want to actually see how much cobblestone we're producing. So now we're going to start getting into the more technical stuff like these threshold switches, smart observers, display links, and display boards. Alright, so the display board, they just need rotational force. You could kind of put them anywhere. I don't think they need a specific amount of force, so I'm just going to put it there just so we can see what's going on. Now, the threshold switch, we went over that before when we made the lava farm, and that tells you when to start and stop a machine. So we're probably going to utilize one of these, and also we've got a smart observer here too, and that's going to check the, oops, that's going to keep track of how much cobblestone is actually in here. I think I need to tell it just to observe cobblestone. There we go. Now these display links, you use them with these display boards, so what you got to do is right click on what you want to target, and then you have to place it onto the smart observer. Right here. You could also put them onto the threshold switch as well. But if you want to check how many items are in the item vault, then you have to do it to a smart observer, I believe. So when you right click on it, it says amount of matching items. Yeah, that's what I want. So I want it to tell me the amount of matching items. My label's going to be cobble. And I'm going to have it display to line 1 and check. There we go, big data. And we should have it. Oh, we're not getting rotational force. Huh, I thought we could get rotational force from that. Okay, there we go. Now it's spinning. Let's redo that. Okay, display link to the display board and then put it on here and then set it for amount of matching items for cobble. And done. There we go. Should be connected. And there we go. Cobble. 2,000. Jeez, that was a lot of cobble on it just for testing. That's insane. Now that number is going to get bigger, so if you don't want to display the number on line 1, you could change it around a little bit too. Okay, so I erased the upper line, so now we're just displaying on the lower line. That's fine. Okay, with all that set up and ready to go, our display link's good. all we need to do is set our threshold switch. So what we need to do is for the threshold switch, we can use these wireless redstone links. So I'm going to put a link here, and I'm going to set this one to receiver mode. And I'm going to set my frequency 1 to be cobble, frequency 2 to be cobble. Okay, that's good. Now let's set our other one. We're going to put a redstone link over here on our threshold switch. That's hard to say. Frequency, there you go. And we're going to set it. Okay, so it should be off right now. I can set it to be on right now, which I don't want, but I want to set it to be off right now, so that way it turns off the signal over there and turns on the machine. Okay, this gets a little confusing, so bear with me. Alright, so currently we have that much percentage in here, and once it gets to, let's say... Okay, I'm going to set it down to, let's say 10%. Let's do that for testing purposes. So once it hits 10% full, the lock is going to drop down here and turn on a redstone signal, which is going to turn on this wireless link, which is going to turn on the other wireless link, which is going to turn off the machine. Yeah, a lot going on. So let's go ahead and give it a try. So machine is on. Now we can watch the numbers in real time. We've got over 3,000. Almost 4.5. This thing fills up pretty fast. Yeah, look at all that cobblestone. That's nice. That's what I want to see. 7,500. Let's see how we are on our threshold. Oh, we're almost there. That should drop down at any second. Oh, there we go. Okay, now it dropped down. So redstone signal is on, and that sent our redstone signal over here, which in turn turned off the machine by leaving this thing in the up position. And we're stuck at 10,500. And there we go. Ooh, that's a little glitchy. Is that stuck? Oh no, that's not good. A little bit of loss, but okay. That is our new cobblestone generator up and running. And now, just for reference, 10,600 cobblestone is roughly 166.5 stacks of cobblestone. That's a lot of cobblestone in just seconds. We just had this thing running, I don't know, probably less than a minute, and that's how much we filled up. That's pretty crazy. So, and then not to mention, we can expand this thing even further. I can double that up if I wanted to, so we can produce all the cobble in the world in just minutes. Alrighty, super happy with that being done and all ready to go. Now, I just need to take all this cobblestone and pipe it all the way, well, conveyor belt it all the way down into our factory. So basically, I'm going to take cobblestone from here. It's going to run down here and get plopped down into another item vault that we're going to put down here. And the plan is to fill up the item vault that goes down here, so that way we can have cobblestone on demand for the rest of the machines that we're going to build. This is where most of the cobble is going to go and be called from. So what's going to happen here is anytime cobble is needed, there's going to be redstone signals popping in and out over here, telling these item vaults to either release cobble or to stop releasing cobble. And the idea is to use this main line here. Everything's going to be sent onto this main line to the next machine that's needed, that needs the resource. And this line is going to run all the way around, and then it's going to hit the end, and then it's going to drop down to the next floor. So if anything needs cobble, it's going to call it off of this item vault, and I'm going to have some redstone links on some smart chutes, and those are going to release cobble on demand. And there we go. We got 2 maxed out vaults ready to take cobblestone. Now both of these are going to be dedicated for cobblestone. But that's not all. I'm going to increase the storage, because I don't want that machine up there running too often. I want it to fill up all these vaults and then probably turn off for a while because it is a little bit laggy. And especially once we get all the machines in here, and if multiple of them are working at a time, it can create a lot of lag. And then the mine colonies out there, yeah, we're gonna have a lot of lag in this world. So we're gonna make a massive amount of storage up here. Here we go. Hook those up there. And there we go. We've got cobblestone. They are moving fast. They're moving all the way over here. And this is where they drop down. And then they're going to drop down into this monster. I think we got enough storage here. This is a lot of storage. I mean, we're going to be using a lot of cobble throughout this series. So more cobble storage, the better. The less I have to run that machine, the better as well. But when I do run it, I want to run it for a long time. Okay, so yeah, cobble stored down here. Comes from up here. Conveyor belted all the way in from all the way over here. And this is where it's being produced. Oh, we're producing it again. Wow, we drained it pretty quick. Okay. So like I showed you, all of our items are here. Now these conveyor belts aren't completely full, and I want to see them completely full. So I might actually expand our farm a little bit more so that way we could get a lot more cobblestone flowing through here. I want to fill up these item vaults as quickly as possible. But as you can see, they all go into this big item vault here, which has a shared inventory, so that way it can evenly get split up between these chutes here, and then those chutes go into this vault, which then gets split up into these 4 vaults. Now we've got our sign here telling us what is going on, and we've got the lower right, which is this one over here, and that one's at 99%. We've got the lower left, which is this one here. That one's at 15%. For some reason, the right side filled up faster than the left side, even though I've got it evenly split up here. I've also got a mid, so that one is checking the mid to see what its levels are, and then the upper one is all the way up here checking what the levels are over here. So with this, I should have a pretty good gauge on how much cobble I have and what's left over. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And it is increasing pretty good, but it may not be fast enough for the things that we're going to do. I don't know. We'll have to see. But if it's not, the farm is easily expandable. Now, as you can see, I added some gears up here, so these are going to be running the display links. I'm going to be putting the display links underneath each of my modules. So we've got a pretty big module here, but most of the modules will probably be a 3 by whatever that is, 10. And I'm just going to dot them through here. Like I said, I'm taking a lot of inspiration from Tango Tech's factory that he built in his Create series. But of course, I'm not going to copy it exact. I've got my own things that I want to do here, but I really liked how he laid it out. So I'm going to lay it out pretty similarly with the display links along the top and then the conveyor belts along the bottom. I'm only going to do one conveyor belt, and most of the items are going to feed to the next module with this one conveyor belt. So this conveyor belt will feed module to module, and then I'll probably put a conveyor belt in the backside, which is going to be my return line that comes to my storage system. So whenever I request items, I can do so near my storage room, and it should all get fed over there on a separate line. Now, I do know those gears are super ugly, so what we can do is actually grab some andesite casings and we can decorate them a little bit. It doesn't cost anything to decorate them since you already put down the gear. But yeah, at least you could decorate them a little bit, make them look a little nicer. Oops, I think that's how we'll leave it. We'll probably do an upper floor right there for a bunch of storage stuff. But that is our first module done. Our first module is pretty much dedicated to storage, and the farm's up there above our chandelier. But the rest of the modules are going to be down here, and they will do everything and store everything right there. Well, anyway, I do hope that you guys have learned something on today's episode. And yeah, we definitely got a lot done. There's definitely more to come. Lots more to come. But I'm real happy that we got this cobblestone farm done, and this is going to be feeding everything that goes on in the factory. I mean, those item vaults are expensive. So I don't mind going a little crazy with the storage on the cobble. That's fine by me. But anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.